Jalen, I've never seen someone block a shot like Chris Duarte does right here.
Hustling. Obi Toppin trying to draw the foul. Had to learn to live with rejection. They're going to love that at Indy. Start.
He is Jalen Rose. I'm David Jacoby. We are Jalen and Jacoby. What is it that we do?
We give the people what they want.
We have some interesting updates on the future of Michael Thomas with the Saints, but we start with the future of Luka Doncic with the Mavericks. Luka signed a 5-year, $207 million extension. Jalen Rose, what do you think about this big deal for Luka Doncic?
It feels good. Yeah. You should be extremely happy if you're a fan of the Dallas Mavs. But you know who's going to be even more happy? Mark Cuban. Because they did something that I would do that you said you wouldn't do. We gassing up the plane. We going to his hometown. We gonna make sure we not docu-signing, we not faxing, we not overnighting. We gonna make sure this deal gets done. And Mark Cuban is there. Captain Dirk is there. The head coach Jason Kidd is there. But here's what I want y'all to pay attention to. My guy, Michael Finley, always the shadow behind Mark Cuban. I played against that guy in 9th grade, and he had a Jerry curl and was doing work with it. He gonna make sure that Luka signs on the contract. So he had to be on the plane to make sure that the deal got inked.
Absolutely. Now, Luka Doncic is the most important player for the Mavericks. And you look at these numbers, he's been so impressive. But, Jalen, now the time is to ask this question. You've got Doncic locked up for 5 years. Who are you going to put around him? How are they going to turn this team from a middle team in the Western Conference to a top team in the Western Conference?
Well, he's a complete player. And when you're getting 25, 7, and 7 your first 3 years, and the only other person that has done that is the big O, like that's holy grail type stuff, family. And in building out your roster, of course you want to get defenders in particular, not only on the ball, but on the wing, because you don't want him responsible for trying to slow down Dame Lillard or Paul George. You don't want that necessarily to be his responsibility, for example, or a Donovan Mitchell when they play. I really like that they re-signed Tim Hardaway, who had a terrific season last year, shown that he could be a prolific scorer in the game and be like a guy that can get you around 20 when you need it. Finney Smith made some big-time threes last year, and obviously he's going to give you effort. But the elephant in the room happens to be a unicorn. At least that's what they called him in New York City. And that's Kristaps Porzingis. Last year, he was not the guy that he was previously in the bubble. I believe he's going to return more to his unique form that we first saw. A guy that can score 20, a guy that's going to make threes at 7'3", and also catch lobs and block a couple of shots, but also be used on the post. Here's what happens in professional sports when you have a great player like Luka. When everybody else is in and out of the lineup, we got to just keep doing what we doing because we know he's going to be here every day. And that's what ended up happening to Porzingis. He dealt with some injuries. He dealt with some inconsistent play. And they like, you know what we know we can always do? Give the ball to Luka. And so that's what they ended up doing. I think they'll do more this year with Jason Kidd to start getting him involved. And the Dallas Mavs, while they're not a contending team in the West, I see them as a 5 through 8 type of team, and that's going to be separated by like 1 or 2 games. But again, anytime you got Luka, you got a chance. Truly special player.
Especially in a 7-game series. And one thing I want to talk about is I didn't love it when Mark Cuban had to address the fact that KP and Luka had some sort of skirmishes and didn't always see eye to eye. Do you think these chemistry problems can be fixed in the Dallas Mavericks locker room?
Oh yeah, easy. You know what to fix KP's problem? Give him the ball. He'll be a lot happier. Put him on a post. That'll make him a lot happier. And you know what'll make Luka more happy? Is if he can stay healthy and be a productive player. That's just how this works. It's competitive. It's professional sports. And us dumb Americans just assume that since they're both international players, oh, they're going to get along. Oh, man, they got to be the best of friends. They're buddies. You know, it takes time to earn the trust of a great player like Luka. Hey, dog, let me tell you, I got a chance to play against some of the greatest players to ever do it and play against them. But there's also a level of pressure there when Mark Jackson, one of the top 5 assist guys of all time, is watching a single double happen. You know you can throw it to Reggie because you know what you're gonna get. But when he throw it to me and I miss, he's not happy. Like, that's pressure, dog. You see what I'm saying? And Porzingis has to find a way to still play his game. I love how Chris Middleton truly elevated in that role. Hopefully Kristaps Porzingis can do his version of that with the Dallas Mavs.
Well, Jalen, Luka is certainly the guy for the Dallas Mavericks, so much so that there are reports that the front office is getting on planes and traveling all the way to Slovenia to sign him to a huge 5-year, $200 million deal. See, I would do this over Zoom. I'm not flying to Slovenia to give you $200 million. I'm doing this over Zoom. What do you think about these reports?
You know how Luka that deal when he got a Luka Doncic out here, got him a little street lore happening. You got Mark Cuban and Dirk and Jason Kidd, the latter 2 Hall of Famers, flying wherever you are to make sure your deal gets signed, and rightfully so. He and Kristaps Porzingis are going to resemble more of what people anticipated this year than they did last year, because Kristaps Porzingis, as I discussed this with Jason Kidd, he's going to actively use him the way he was used in New York. And I know you like that in particular because that's where he gained the name Unicorn, in particular by being a guy at 7'3" that can score 20, but also catch lobs and get you a couple of blocks.
I really think the challenge for Cuban after getting this done is, like Dame and like Giannis, you have these superstars and you really have to put the right team around them. And I'm not sure that KP is the perfect complementary piece for Luka Doncic, but with Jason Kidd as the head coach, this year will sort of be a sink or swim year for this duo. Do you expect them to really challenge some of the top teams in the West?
I do. And shout out to my brother, The Truth, Paul, who coined him Don Luka. They re-signed my guy Tim Hardaway Jr. He had a terrific season last year, but the West is extremely stout. And to your point, they're going to need one more all-star caliber player to me to catapult themselves into contention status in the Western Conference. But we saw it this year, Jacoby, with COVID, with injuries. We're going back to an 82-game schedule. There are crazy things that happen during the regular season because the Lakers, as an older bunch, they're not going to have a 1, maybe even a 2 seed. So that's going to leave room for teams like the Jazz and for the Denver Nuggets and all of those teams who are a lot younger that's going to play the marathon game. So it's going to be interesting to see how it works out for the Mavs. But as long as you can get Luka signed, you do that immediately by all means.
I'm lazy. I wouldn't fly to Slovenia to give someone $200 million. You can fly to me to get your $200
Yes, you
million.
would. Yes, you would.
You can fly to me to get your $200 million. Jalen, we love young, exciting players in the NBA like Luka Doncic, but we especially love it when they're named Jalen, and Jalen Green looked good in his debut in Summer League for the Rockets. What are your expectations for this young man?
The thing I like about him the most as a guy that's gonna be able to score in the league off the dribble, off the catch, and transition and half court, I like his fearlessness. And you know what else I like, Jacoby? He stays on balance. Like so many times a young player is out of control literally because they're off balance. Look at that right there. That level of poise and balance. You see how they cut off the first move and then he just turned around and just made the jump shot with ease, the catch and shoot 3. Look at his finish off the wrong foot at the hoop. He has all of the skills already. He's going to be a fantastic weapon for the Houston Rockets.
He is. And Jalen, coming up, we have a very interesting move from a freshly minted gold medal winner. Bam Adebayo doesn't just bring his medal to the game, he displays it. We'll discuss soft move or boss move right after this.
Have to buy that thing a ticket.
Jalen, check out Kai Jones in Summer League.
Ooh, that is nasty. 19th pick out of Texas. Gonna be catching lobs from our guy, LaMelo Ball with the Hornets. Let's start.
Gold medal winner Bam Adebayo attended one of those Summer League games. And Jalen, he didn't just have the gold medal. He didn't wear the gold medal. He dangled the gold medal for everyone to look at. Jalen, soft move or boss move, dangling the gold medal in front of everybody.
That's definitely a boss move. As a matter of fact, he should have got the gold medal its own chair. Like, you know what? The gold medal is going to have its own chair. I love, the great American philosopher David Jacoby taught me, that people don't celebrate enough. And the women's team, their video just gave me life.
I loved it.
Their dance video, post-celebration, gave me life. Like we give you life. See y'all.